Minolta. This video today is to, guide you on how to use Minolta Hi Matic 7S. This is the camera I'm gonna be lending you guys. It was one of my first cameras. It's pretty hefty, so I'm not worried that you guys gonna like break it or anything. It's like made out of metal. Quick pointers before we get into finer details about the camera is that it's a rangefinder. It's not like your SLR camera where you could adjust the lens or anything like that. The lens is fixed, so you're gonna be working with a 45mm lens. It's a bit wide, not too narrow. It's alright. It's pretty decent. And yeah, let's get right into it. Okay, first step is turning on your camera. When it comes to Minolta Hi Matic 7S, it's a mechanical camera, so you don't really need to turn it on per se. I mean, if you decide to turn on the camera, it helps a lot when you want to shoot for light. I mean, meter your exposures. There we go. If you want to meter your exposures, that's when you turn on the camera. In order to do that, you go right here in the bottom. It's going to be a little switch right here, and you're going to move it towards the corresponding ISO or ASA. And what is your ISO and ASA? Well, that's going to be your film stock. Here we have Kodak 200 and Fuji 400. The 200 is going to be your ISO, and the 400 is going to be the other ISO. Every film stock has a unique ISO setting, and each film stock gives its unique type of look. So this Kodak has a sort of gold-like colors to it, and then Fuji Superior has sort of a greenish tint to it. And since 4 of you guys decided to help me with this project, we're gonna go with Fuji Superior because it comes with 36 shots, giving you guys a total of 9 shots each. Kodak Gold only comes with 24, so gonna give you guys more bang for your buck, I suppose. So since we're choosing Fuji Superior 400, we're gonna go down here and set your ISO to 400. And there we go. And that's gonna be your ISO setting for the camera. Just remember to turn it off so you can save the battery. And remember to set it back to 400 when you're gonna shoot it. You don't need to, but it helps for exposure. And if you guys want to know how to load the film, I mean, you guys don't need to because it's going to come preloaded, but just for fun, it's going to be a little tab right here. You're going to pull it, and it's going to open the back of your film. Open it right here, and right here, you're going to insert the film canister. Such as so. Wrong way. No, wait, this is right here. And then what you're going to do is going to pull this tab across and insert it right here. Close the film canister, and you're gonna see a little film counter right here in the corner. You're gonna shoot it until it gets to 1. So, well, it's already loaded apparently. You're gonna pull it, shoot, pull, and there you go. You are ready to go. Alright, this is going to be a random cut in the video at this point. Sorry about that, guys. So right here, it's going to be important. It's going to tell you if the film is loaded or if it's not. You see right here, it's going to be blank. That means it's not loaded. It's going to be red when it's loaded. Alright, so red, loaded, blank, unloaded. Now, time for the next segment of the video. It's going to be your film speed and your f-stop. Now, for the next step is going to be your exposure and, no, not your exposure, your film speed and your f-stop. It's going to be your 2 rings right here. The first ring is going to be your speed. It's going to be your speed, and then the second ring is going to be your f-stop. When you first get it, it's going to set at automatic, so the camera does the work for you, so you don't need to adjust any of the settings. But if you guys want to get creative with the work, to adjust it, you're going to go right here. It's going to be this little button right here. You're going to hold it, and you're going to want to twist the rings at the same time. clockwise, I think. And then from here you could change the settings to whatever you like. So for the second ring, you're gonna have a choice between 22 and 1.8. The higher the f-stop, the less light you get, and however you get more stuff in focus, if that makes sense. And the lower your f-stop, the more light you get, but less stuff are in focus. And then for the second ring, you can adjust your speed, like how fast the camera's gonna shoot. 1/500th of the second is your fastest, and then 1/4 is gonna be your slowest. B is gonna be like manual, so you just hold the button down, and like the shutter will stay open until you let go of the button. Okay guys, when it comes to focusing a rangefinder, it's kind of weird when it comes to that. Unlike other cameras, when you're out of focus, the image is blurry and you adjust it until it becomes clear. But with a rangefinder, it's not that type of case. When it's out of focus, you get a double image type of situation. When you see a double image of your subject, that means you're out of focus. And to bring it back into focus, you need to adjust the lens until you only see one image. Let me show you guys what I mean by that. So, right here. So right now, the Kodak Gold is in focus, and it's going to be out of focus right now. You see that double image? That's how you know it's out of focus. So to bring it back, you want to adjust your camera accordingly to bring that back to a single image. And you always want to get that faint diamond shape onto your subject. That's how you'll know. It makes it easier to know if your image is out of focus or in focus. And in order to adjust your camera for that, you're going to go right here, and it's going to be this third ring all the way in the back right here. It's going to be your depth of field, and it tells you like where you're focusing for. So you have a range between infinite and 0.9 meters. And that little black line, let me get in focus. The little black line tells you what you're setting towards. So 0.9 is the closest you can go, and infinity is the furthest you can get. But just keep in mind, if you're gonna go for like an infinite shot, it's not gonna come out as detailed as opposed when you're in focus for like a set distance, like between 5 and 0.9. So just keep that in mind. And there's other stuff that's important to note when you look at the viewfinder. You see those 4 white bars? That's going to tell you what exactly the camera is taking a picture of. Anything beyond those white bars, it's not going to capture. And that right thing on the right, the bar on the right is going to be your meter. It tells you whether your image is overexposed or underexposed. Right now the camera's off, so we're going to turn it on, and you'll see the needle change. So let me set it to 400 real quick. So right now it's set to 400, and you see that the needle is somewhere in between, so that's pretty good. So it's evenly exposed. If your number is at a 5.7, that means it is underexposed, and if it's at 17, it is overexposed. You could try and take pictures like that. I mean, it's up to you guys, really. It's going to be your guys' project on how you guys want to take your photos. But just keep that in mind. The lower your EV, the less light, and the higher EV means there's too much light. So, yeah. I mean, this is the basic stuff on how to operate the camera. And before I forget, there is one thing I need to tell you guys. It is going to be the Sunny 16 rule. This basically helps you set your exposure for certain climates during the day, such as a sunny day, indoors, and shade. And so what you want to do is set your speed according to your ISO. So as before, as I said, we're going to set the ISO to 400. So you want to set your speed as close to that as possible, and the closest number that the camera allows you to get to that is going to be 500. So you want to set your speed to 500, and you're going to leave it there, right? You're not going to change it at all. The only thing you are going to change is going to be your f-stop, and it's going to be between f16 and f4. So it's going to go as accordingly. F16 is going to be for a sunny day, which means no clouds. And you're going to set your camera to f11 for a sunny day that has some clouds, like 1 or 2 clouds. F8 for a mostly cloudy day, no overcast. And f5.6 for an overcast or outdoor shade. And then f4 is going to be shade, no sunlight, such as indoors. So yeah, if you guys ever need any help or like want to know some tips and tricks with the camera, just send me a text or call. I'm more than happy to help you guys out. Alright, see you. Also, I'm also going to put a transcribe edition into the descriptor because I have difficulty explaining stuff via video. I do a much more better job like in text form. So yeah, go ahead and look at that if you guys are a bit confused.